So, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Capturing the game within the game. I'm your host, Brady Spenfelder, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Desmond Jones. Today, we have a wonderful opportunity to speak with a two-time NBL Canada champion and a Michigan native, Scott Newman. Thank you for joining us today, Scott.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So, the first question we've been asking everyone else that's been joining the podcast is just give us a little bit of information, like some background about yourself for the people listening.
Yeah, I was, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Went to college in the state of Iowa. Graduated from Grandview University, which it is now. When I went to school there, was Grandview College. Played basketball there. Started off at actually Marshalltown Community College in Marshalltown, Iowa, and finished up at Grandview, which is in Des Moines, Iowa. Played 4 years of basketball. Um, Finished in '93. Since then, I've been coaching at all levels since '93, high school, college, and now the professional level. Um, and really enjoying it and having a ball doing it. It's my passion. I really love it.
Great. I love that you're from Detroit. I always love Detroit's saying "What up, though." So
Yeah.
I always gotta incorporate that every time I meet someone from
Oh
Detroit.
yeah.
Like I,
Oh
like
yeah.
I,
You went to
I
school with
got
some people from Detroit.
yeah. So one of my best friends is from Detroit. His name is Darius. That and then the last I was a part of the National Society of Black Engineers, and we held a convention there about 2 years ago, and
Okay.
we brought it was located in Detroit, and we did it at the Kobo Center,
Okay.
and we had about 10,000 people, Black engineers there. So
All right.
yeah,
Good.
I'm a little familiar with
Oh yeah,
Detroit.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That's and you know somebody from Detroit when they say what up though.
Yeah. What's been like? So I know. Well, my first question was, why coaching? What made you? How did you figure out that coaching was your passion?
Well, I figured out basketball and learned basketball was my passion. Growing up as a kid, I played all three sports: baseball, basketball, and football up until the ninth grade. And actually, my best sport was football. But I fell in love with basketball. Once I got to high school after ninth grade, I just stuck with basketball. So during that time, growing up in the '80s in Detroit, Isaiah Thomas was the man, and so that was one of my sports heroes. And I remember the game. I believe it was in '84. I think they were playing down at Cobo Hall or Joe Louis Arena against the Knicks, and he scored like about 16 points in like about 90 seconds, And so at that point, that kind of inspired me and lit a fire in me in terms of my passion for basketball. And so, I did that, played high school basketball, went on to college, and did my thing. But when it comes to an end, in terms of playing wise, I kind of gravitated to the coaching aspect. When you have what they say, a basketball Jones, you have a basketball Jones. So you have to feel it some kind of way. And so coaching has become my passion. And I believe what I was put, on this earth to do, in terms of coaching the game and leading young men and young women, in teaching life skills and being an example for them to, follow. Basketball. I think my original sports basketball icon was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But I realized I wasn't going to be 7 foot, so I had to probably find me a player a little bit closer to my size. And Isaiah Thomas, I believe, was drafted in '81 to the Pistons, and so that became that became my the guy I kind of patterned my game after as a lot of guys and kids in this area and did as ball players. I even wore number 11 for a little while. So those were kind of my sports heroes. And so like I said, I played all three, and whatever the season was, I was with it. But once probably I got to high school, that's when I kind of specialized in the game of basketball.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I like for me personally, I grew up playing basketball, and then I switched over to baseball, and I
Okay.
fell in love with playing baseball. I ended up playing uh 2 years at Indiana Tech
Okay.
as baseball, and then I stopped doing that to try to focus in on my engineering degree at the time.
Okay. Good.
So, but I love basketball. I love baseball. I love sports in general,
Yeah. All
though.
right.
What's some of your biggest challenges that you face in the industry right now?
Well, as as you know, or maybe you don't know, if in life is not what you know, is who you know. So when you're trying to climb the ladder and you're trying to reach your goals in whatever profession, one of the biggest challenges is climbing the ladder, getting that next opportunity. Whether it's coaching, whether it's being an engineer on the coaching side, as an assistant coach, head coaches are not going to hire you for the most part unless they know you or you come highly recommended, from a coach that they do know. So it's about networking. It's about meeting the right people. It's about working camps. It's about getting in front of uh, guys and showing your worth as a coach, showing your abilities as a coach, and showing what you are and what you're about as a person. So one of the biggest challenges is climbing the ladder and reaching your goals. So my process has been to continue to work and do the best job that I can where I am, and continue to make connections if I can, and ultimately I believe that opportunities will come for me. So just being able to move to that next level, and to become a head coach. uh be it, I've applied to, I've been a high school head coach, applied a lot of places years back, on the college level, to different universities. And when you're young and new in the business, you think that, hey, my resume stacks up. I'm a good person. Let me just send my resume to this guy or to this head coach. And, I can probably count on two fingers uh, the personal responses I've got back from coaches who I didn't know. It's been about maybe about two coaches that have responded back out of many, and those two coaches to this day I'm still friends with. And they're still coaching, but I check in with them from time to time, and I remind them. I even had copies of the letter that I sent him, attempting to get on his staff at his particular job. And I remind him that basically that I appreciate him taking the time out to even respond to me, to even call my references like he did. He didn't know me from
Yeah.
Adam, but at least he did that, and I appreciate that. And we're still friends and cool to this day. So the big, like I said, the biggest challenge in my eyes is just being able to move to that next level and climb the ladder.
Yeah, that's powerful. I think that's in general in life, man. As you get through things, the hardest thing to do is just to keep climbing.
Yeah.
And I think you hit the nail on the nugget when you said that it's about who you know, and
And who
networking.
knows you?
Yeah,
And
and
who
who,
knows
yeah, that's key as well, because it's been plenty of times where I think I got the best thing, I'm the best thing walking,
you. Oh yeah.
and I get humbled real quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen. But my advice is just to keep working. You
Hmm.
know, I'll be 50 years old in May, man. The time is, you
That's
know,
a blessing.
yeah. I look back. I mean, I was in my mid to late 20s, and I'm and I'm sending a resume. Yeah, I can do this, that, and the other. And go, now, I'm considered one of the older guys. You know what I'm saying? To say, say, man, I'm about to be 50 years old. So at this point, in terms of, on especially on the college level, I would have to probably know that head coach or have a personal relationship with him in order for me to take the job, or even apply for that matter. I've got connections on the pro level, NBA level and things of that nature. Know a few coaches and scouts, and so I'm going to keep plugging away, and when that time happens, I believe it's in God's hands, and he'll make it happen for me when the right time is the right time.
Amen. Amen. With all the different levels that you've been a part of, what's been your favorite level to coach at?
Ah, um, I'm really for about the last 9 years, I've been on the pro level, minor
Mhm.
league, and over in Canada, in the National Basketball League of Canada, which is not considered a minor league, but I've been doing the pro thing for the last 9 years, and I think I've found my niche on the pro level. Now I'm a product of the junior college system. Like I said, I spent out of high school, I was unrecruited or wasn't recruited as highly as I thought of. My grades were good. I was an academic qualifier, but I chose to go to Marshalltown Community College in Marshalltown, Iowa, to give myself an opportunity to be re-recruited, and that worked for me. I was able to reach my goal of becoming a Division I player. uh, I said my junior year, I spent my junior year and was recruited, by mid-major Division Is at Western Carolina University before finishing up at Grandview, which is an NAIA. And uh but I say all that to say that one of my favorite levels, I've spent 6 years, I believe, on the junior college level here at the state of Michigan. Two at Schoolcraft College, where we won two state championships and went to the national tournament, Division I, and then four at Henry Ford College. And those have been some of the best years I've had, basically due to the fact that I was helping kids achieve their dreams like I did mine, helping them get to the Division I level, helping them get to the
Mm.
Division II level, helping them move on to the 4-year level NAIA schools and things of that. So I really took pride in being an assistant coach on staff who was helping to place players at the next level. So that was gratifying, and a lot of those kids, which are now grown men, still contact me, keep in touch with me. When they graduated, I was, invited to their housewarming, been invited to their weddings. A couple of the parents text message me and call me from time to time, checking in with me, just because they appreciated the time and effort I spent to help their kids go to the next level where they didn't have to pay money. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm.
That's what I'm about. I always took pride in, developing players, developing young men, and being able to help them move to the next level, like my junior college coach did, and he's still coaching to this day. He's now down at Tyler Junior College in Texas, Mike Marquis. So he's been one of my mentors and best friends, and um, he helped me, and I'm just paying it forward.
Hey man, I appreciate just you being who you are and always just paying it forward and mentoring and teaching, because it's definitely hard for especially African Americans to try to make it through this journey of life,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
and I appreciate just everything that you're doing and just and everything you have done so far.
Thank you.
So do you, for all the players that you coached and whatnot, or have helped, make it to the next level, is there any particular, like one of your players' stories that you've loved or grown to like the most, or I don't say like the most, but any story that might have moved you, or you just so proud of this person of, just where they were at before and where they're currently at, and where they're currently at right now.
Yeah, it's been several kids over the years who have developed into nice grown men and family men and doing well in their personal life, uh, and family life and professional life. But one I tell guys, one of my favorite teams that I coached was an assistant coach. Uh, was the 2009 Henry Ford team when we won the state championship in Michigan. It was my first year there as an assistant, and I was coming from Schoolcraft College, where I was there for coached there for 2 years, and we had a team. The 2001 team at Schoolcraft was probably one of the best and most talented teams in the state of Michigan junior college history. Went to the national tournament. Had like 6 Division I players and stuff like that. But I was coming from there where we had 6'8" and 6'9" bigs and stuff, and coming to Henry Ford, where our bigs were like 6'3". You know what I'm saying? So my first practice, I'm walking in, I'm saying, "Whoa, man, I'm not used to this." Some 6'3" centers and forwards, and I said, "Man, But that team, man, had no Division I players, and along with the coaching staff there, we got them guys, man, and we won the state championship, man, and kind of came out of nowhere, and a lot of those players moved on. Nobody went Division I that moved on, that year. But I mean, for us to win the state championship that year, that was just probably one of my favorite teams of all time. And I still talk with, I just got on Facebook, I believe in 2019 or something like that in August, so I've connected with a lot of those guys, and we talk about that stuff like that. So it's allowed me to reconnect with guys, players I've coached and hadn't seen in close to 20 years and or more. So any player that's come across that, would say friends that you may know or something,
Yeah.
always try to Facebook friend them, and they request just so we can keep in touch. So, but yeah, that Henry Ford team was uh, probably my favorite team of all time. Now that 2001 Schoolcraft College team was probably the best team that I've coached on, but uh, I did enjoy winning back-to-back professional championships with the Windsor Express as assistant too. So those it's been some good times I've had in my coaching career. You know,
No, that's awesome. I need to borrow one of those trophies though. I don't. I didn't get a chance to win much in my lifetime, and I always joke with my wife. I'm like, "Yo, let me hold one of your national championship rings."
yeah, she
Just
just
to,
won something I seen. That little track thing that was good.
yeah, yeah. So she getting two more coming our way. So I'm gonna try to make sure it fits my ring. Make sure I adjust the size so it can fit
We
me.
got some nice rings. I got two of them from Windsor Express, man. I should have put one on. I got them in the safe. I'll just wear them on certain occasions. But those, we got some nice championship rings there too. Proud of that.
No, that's awesome. Talk to me about like just some of the competition and like the competition levels with playing in the I believe it's the oh, I can't think of the name of the league, the NBL
Yeah,
league,
NBL
and the
Canada.
yeah. Tell me about the talk to me about the competition that's over there.
The NBL Canada, I think this season would have been the 10th year, but
Mm-hmm.
it was postponed due to COVID. This would have been the
Mm-hmm.
10th season. So when it originally started off, the very first year, I believe it was around 2012, 2011, somewhere around there might have been the first year of NBL Canada. Well, it started off as developmental league in terms of, in which it still sort of is, but it was a developmental league in terms of being able to springboard players to a higher level of professional basketball, overseas in Europe, which we still do, and to the G League. And so the first couple years of the league, so the league wasn't watered down. Uh, you were only required to have 2 or 3 Canadians. The rest could be Americans or wherever you get them from. But the league now, because the Canadian talent, excuse me, has gotten better and improved over the years, I think is up to about 5 Canadians minimum that you can have. 5 Canadians minimum in our league, and so the talent level is been good. We've had former NBA players in our league. Royce White was a league MVP for London. He was drafted by Houston. We had Glenn Big Baby Davis, played with the Boston Celtics and LA Clippers in our league, and several players from various teams and the Windsor Express have been able to parlay their success from playing in the National Basketball League of Canada to overseas jobs in Argentina and Australia and in Europe and Poland, Iceland, higher paying jobs, And so the league is getting better and better every year. And the talent is getting better and better every year. When I first joined 2013, I remember, going out and attempting to recruit players and, tell them we were having tryout and stuff. And at some of them would hesitate, what I'm saying? Because, they would be polite with me, but their body language showed, man, I don't want to go play in Canada. I want to go over, I want to go overseas. They want to be able to tell their friends and family, I'm in Uruguay or Japan or something. I didn't they want to say they was over across the river in Windsor, but as the years went by, those same players who kind of played me off, now they're ringing my phone. You know what I'm saying? Hey, coach, can I get on? Can you give me an opportunity? I love to play. I love to play for you. We were having success, and they saw that the league was good, and so we have some players who have, they were at that age, mid to late 20s, where they weren't quite NBA guys or G League guys or high level Europe guys, but they found their niche in the NBL Canada, and they were making good money, and so they've continued their career in our league for 6-7 years, making a good living, close to home, and they're enjoying themselves. So the league is getting better every year. It's working to pick up sponsors, and if it can get at least 4 teams out west, then the league will be able to expand. And then you're talking about possible TV contracts and things like that. And with TV contracts comes more money. With more money, you can pay and get better players in the league. So, the talent level in Canada has grown over the years. You can see many Canadians in the U.S. Colleges and universities playing Division I, Division II basketball, and now they're getting an opportunity to play in their home country, professionally. So it's on the uptick.
No, I
No,
think that. Oh, go ahead.
no, I just said that's good to hear, and I'm just kind of curious on the fact that you've been able to coach since 2013. What is it like seeing those players that come there that are not really wanting to come play in Canada, but then once they're there a couple of years, what's that experience like for you, being able to coach them and then see them like leave and go up to the higher ranks from starting there in
Yeah,
the NBL.
yeah, that's what we're about. That was the mission statement of the head coach with the Windsor Express, uh, and we didn't want to get to the point, or our original goal was didn't get to the point where we would have the same guys for 3 4 years. Our goal was to be able to develop players and help them to reach their goal, and help them to be able to feed their family and their kids with higher paying jobs in Europe. Um, and so if we can develop them and have success on the court, which we did, winning the 2014 and 2015 championship. And then those guys went on to Venezuela. Not all of them, but some of our top guys went on to different jobs. A couple of them were drafted in the G League, so that was a bit of a feather in our cap. And we were proud to be able to move those guys on because that's what it's about, player
Uh,
development.
yeah, that's outstanding. So I know you have had plenty of like scouting experience. What's some of the stuff that you look for in players? Like how are you able to determine, okay, like based off your current skill levels, like you have the potential to get there. But so
Yeah.
what do you look for in players right now?
I think once you're in whatever particular league you're in, whether it's on the college level, NAI Division 2, Division 1, or on the pro level, it kind of works the same. You know, once you're in the league, you're in the NBL Canada, you get to see the level of talent needed to be successful. And so when we go out and look for players, we want to see if we can find guys who have the size and the athletic ability and the skill set for the position we need. But you have to understand, uh, like in our league, we're not going to be able to get the big time guy that plays at Kansas for the most part. We're not going to, what I'm saying, or the guy that's on the verge of getting drafted, that you see maybe on TV, because those guys that play Power Five basketball, at Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri, Michigan State, the majority of those guys are going to be offered in Europe or some other country more money than we can pay them. Okay. So now what we have to do, now we'll take them if they want opportunity, but what we have to do is look at a second tier guy, so to speak. So it may be a guy from the MAC conference, a Ball State or Eastern Michigan. It may be some guys from uh, uh, maybe a Eastern Kentucky, a mid-major school. It may be some guys from the Division 2 schools around the country. And if those guys uh, fit the skill set that we're looking for, uh, if they have the right character, and we do our reference check on guys. We talk to coaches, we talk to scouts, uh, um, and do background checks as much as we can on them. We bring them in, we work them out, and then we allow them to play against other guys that we're looking at, be it at their position and the other positions that we're looking at. And so at that point, we have to determine who's better than who fits uh, best with us. You know, what player has the less baggage, if possible? Is he going to be coachable? Will he be able to live in the Windsor, city of Windsor, and the Essex community, without the police radar going off or police blotter? You know what I'm saying? So we don't want that type of situation. So they have to check all those boxes for us, and then ultimately it comes down to the head coach's decision. Like I said, from 2013-14 season to 2017, I was on staff as a assistant coach, and eventually my last year associate head coach. these last 4 years, I've moved to the front office in terms of being the director of pro scouting. And so I'm doing more so that right now with Windsor. But I do still, at the home games. I'm at the home games. I sit on the bench at the home games, and then I'm at practices and things of that nature. But in terms with the Windsor Express NBL Canada, you know, we just try to get the best players that we can. That's the best people, and it's going to help us to be successful and bring another championship to the city of Windsor.
No, I think that's good. As you were saying, starting with just coaching and then moving out to be like a scout. Is there any difference between the two, or is it kind of just like the same, just gelling in and just already since you're already in the system, just knowing how to do everything?
Yeah. It's just a little difference. My passion is coaching. On the floor coaching. That's where I'm best. Evaluating in terms of scouting is more so roster building. On this level of basketball, as a coach, you also double as sort of the general manager or director of player personnel or assistant general manager. We're also in charge of identifying talent for the head coach to make the decision. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of. I'm still coaching in terms of I'm with a team called the Detroit Cobras over here. And so we're in a spring summer league, which doesn't interfere with the NBL Canada, And so actually I'm coaching and getting my head coaching experience there. And then with the Windsor Express, I'm on the scouting side. So I'm killing two birds with with one stone actually. And for me, it's professional development is getting better in both areas in terms of identifying talent, and then checking off the box in terms of gaining uh, professional head coaching experience with the Detroit Cobras. So I'm doing both, and I'm enjoying it.
No, that's awesome to literally kill two birds at once, be able to scout and coach at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but I think that's also kudos to your work ethic as well.
yeah,
Just because I know that takes a lot of time to be able to commit to doing both.
oh yeah,
Um, pick up one hat one day, and I'll be the one that walk out the house and wear the wrong gear to the wrong job. So,
right, right.
um, what's some of your? Did you have any? Going back to like your origin story, did you have like any role models that you have growing up that helped you, or maybe dropped one or two nuggets to you that you've always kept to your heart?
Yeah, my biggest role models were my parents, uh, my dad and my mom. They taught me and made me the man, that I am today. Taught me about work ethic, taught me about being an honest person, integrity, you know, and treating people like you want to be treated. So that was grounded in me from a young age. Just about being a good person, about working hard and being determined to meet your goals. So yeah, my parents were my biggest role models. I've had, teachers and coaches, but ultimately, uh, I think parents are and should be the number one teacher in kids' life, because that's who you're with the majority of the time. So parents lay the foundation, and my two parents uh, laid the foundation for me uh, to develop and be the person that I am today. Making sure I had a good education, making sure as best they could, being raised in a safe environment and safe school system and being educated. Uh, Actually, I went to private school and Catholic school coming up. So, you know, they actually paid, money uh, uh, to make sure that I was educated well. And so when they saw that I was passionate about the game of sports and the game of basketball, they supported, my dreams. And when I needed to go to camp, uh, you know, they made sure I was able to go to camp when I, had to go to practice and games. They were at all my practice and just giving me their full support, and so it paid off for me in terms of being able to get a full ride through college where they didn't have to pay anything, and I didn't have any student loans or anything to pay back for. So I was very fortunate to not everybody's fortunate to have both parents or even one parent who's going to put the time in. I had two parents who laid the foundation and disciplined me when necessary and made sure they supported me to try to reach my goals, which they let's say they still to this day. My father actually passed in 2019, 2019. So, but my mom is still here and and she's in good health. And God willing, she'll be in health for some years to come.
No, um, sorry about the loss of your father. But yeah, that I didn't. I know for me personally, um, like I didn't realize how special I was to have both of my parents in my life.
Yeah,
You know, much like you, I went to private education for my grammar school, K through high school, and even Indiana Tech was a private college as well. And I had both my parents in my life, and there's been so many times where, I just kind of look at all my friends, and it's not a common thing. Like a lot of people that I had close to me did not have both their parents in their life. So I know I was especially blessed and to have both my parents still in my life.
oh yeah, oh yeah. It's it's just it's amazing the things that that you learn and you pick up from your parents that you know you will say to your children, because that's what you were taught. And so I never wanted to do anything to embarrass my parents or embarrass my name. And so I'm a big believer in making sure you're taking care of home. I have
Hmm.
two kids. uh Both are over the age of 18 now. uh and my wife and myself have made sure that we laid the foundation for them, so they know uh what to expect in life and make sure that they're doing the right thing and living the right way, so they're not bringing any embarrassment on themselves or my last name, our last name, and progressing to be good people, on this earth. And that's what it's about.
Yeah, I think those are all like important principles that everyone should carry. Switching back to the basketball mindset, um, with I believe you mentioned earlier that your season was canceled due to
Yes.
COVID.
Yes.
What's something that athletes could be working on or could be doing to help like improve the game, even though that like the season may be canceled or due to COVID, maybe they can't do the things that they used to be able to do.
Well, I think the biggest thing when you want to be a professional athlete, whatever sport it is, but in particular, the game of basketball, you have to be in condition. So if you want to be a pro, uh, when you come to these tryouts, these are like job interviews, so you have to be in condition. You have to make sure that all your skills are as tight and as good as they can be. Your ball handling ability, you know, being able to handle that ball is critical in the game of basketball because it gets you from A to B and from B to C on the court. So if you can't get past a guy, that limits what you can do uh, offensively in terms of maybe putting points on the board or things of that nature. But I will say that uh, when guys come to tryouts, make sure you're in shape. Tip top shape. That's the best thing. You know, make sure that you're conducting yourself with class. You're watching your language. You know, because you have a lot of times. So I've been in situations at camps where guys have lost jobs. I've been there scouting, and players have lost jobs because they're they're on the side, cussing up a storm, and that was turning some of the general managers and scouts off, you know, because they say, man, hey, this guy, is using language, and I'm standing right here. We all know what people do, behind closed doors or amongst your boys and your fellas, but when you had a job interview, when you come into a tryout, you come into a workout, make sure you conduct yourself with class because you never know who's watching. Make sure you come in tip top shape. So what guys can do is basically get in the gym uh, as much as you can to stay sharp. Some of these leagues are shut down due to COVID. Find you a team uh, anywhere that maybe you can play on to keep your resume tight, and to stay sharp. And so I said before, the team that I coach now, we're in a league of that sort where, I was able to acquire a couple of guys who need to stay sharp during this time to come play for me, and so it's helping them to not have any gaps in their resume. It's helping them to get current and updated film, you know, and it's helping them to stay sharp, and it requires some, statistics and be coached and, be able to use me as a reference for them, when they try to get their next job. So find you some place to play in a league that's going, even if it's not for money. Find you some place to play so you can stay sharp. But the key is to stay in the gym and stay in tip top shape because you never know when that phone can ring and they say, "Hey man, we need you on that plane in 2 days." And now you come in and you're out of shape because well, people don't want to hear that COVID is the reason you didn't gain 15, 20 pounds, man. Whatever it is, you're supposed to be a pro, So invest in yourself and, get you a lifetime membership, get you a YMCA membership, and invest in yourself a little bit so you can keep your product, which is your body, in tip top shape and stay sharp so you can get that next job.
Yeah. What's as an athlete, what is some of the like how important is recording your like your film or your practices, and like how important is that to, keep your like all the stuff and like latest up to date?
Yeah, I think anytime, for the most part, as a coach and scout, uh, we get tons of emails from players, daily, weekly, from agents, you know, and what we want to be able to see, and I'll say emails, which are basically almost player highlights, either highlights or or game footage, you know, and so from that, if we're in 2021 now, and you're trying to get on in the NBL Canada for the 21-22 season, you know, uh, you know, we don't really want to see film from 2018. You know what I'm saying? So we want to see film that's updated and as current as possible. So if that's you working out, or if that's you, you have to be playing against, the best competition that there is. It can't be YMCA footage of you playing in a rec league or something like that. You know, we want it to be some sort of pro league. You know what I'm saying? So against some sort of competition that's close to the level that maybe you're trying to play at in the league that you're trying to play at, so we can get a fair evaluation. But to answer your question, once you've done this for a while, you've been at a certain level, we are able to identify the talent that can play uh, at our level of professional basketball right away. So within, the first 2 minutes of somebody's highlight tape or somebody's game footage tape, right away, first 2 minutes, I can tell the guy's skill level and say, okay, we can use him. I think he's good enough. And then and from there it goes up the chain in the term in terms of them possibly coming in for a workout, so we can evaluate them in person, and then getting them in head-to-head competition against guys that we're also considering at that position, so we can figure out who's the best fit, who's the best player, who's the best fit for us.
Yeah, with that, with all this scouting and stuff, what is one of the main like red flags that you see when people send in say the game film through email or DM? What's one of the things that you don't want up and comers that are trying to get into the basketball league for you?
Well, I would say I would say game films or highlight films against inferior competition. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't do us any good unless this guy is really a high level player, or it's a guy that maybe we can Google, go on the internet and put his name in. He played college basketball somewhere, and then we can probably see his stats or go on YouTube or something. And pretty much everybody has a highlight film, or maybe their senior year, their coach put something together for them, so we were able to kind of pull it up. But we've had in the past players who have sent something, basically like in a rec league gym or something like that, and that doesn't, that's not really, doesn't give us a fair evaluation or accurate description of that player's ability. But if a player has played at the college level somewhere, we can pretty much find them, at least see statistically what they did at that college. And so looking at numbers, and you say, okay, he played here, this is what he did. He was able to, maybe he got some honors or and awards, and then maybe see a highlight film and, check out the athletic ability, for his position. Oh, okay, yeah, this guy, he may have a shot. So we can kind of determine, but if you're, maybe a 6'1" center, that ain't gonna cut it. You 6'1", you better have some guard skills, be able to handle the ball or shoot the ball to be considered.
Okay. What's your schedule like right now as being a coach? Like, can you walk me through like your daily routine?
Yeah, yeah. Well, my full-time job is I'm with Wayne County. Uh, I work at the juvenile court, so I work 6 to 2 right now. Then we practice from 6 to 8. During the week, a couple days during the week, and in this league, um, games are on the weekend, which just started this past Saturday. In terms of non-league games, uh, but in terms of scouting and things like that with the Windsor Express right now, we're just evaluating players through connections we have with agents who send us uh, film of their clients they're trying to get on. We have some players who are in play for this upcoming season. If it would have started in March, that we're still in contact with, and we had a little Windsor Express. We had a little tryout in December where we had about 20, 30 some guys in, and looked at some guys, and just keeping them on file, keeping in contact with them. So once and hopefully this next season starts in December, which would be the 21-22 season, things will get rolling. Generally, there are some tryout. There's some during the summer, July months. There's generally a lot of pro combines around. Since 2014, I've been coaching and going to Las Vegas, in the Global Summer Basketball League and things of that nature. And Dave Magley of the TBL, which is the basketball league, had a combine in Vegas. I coached in that, and I did a lot of coaching and scouting of players and making connections, and filling our notepads and files of names and players at all positions that we may consider in terms of signing with the Windsor Express.
That's awesome. Well, I think that includes the first part of our interview. And now we are going to transition into our rapid fire round where me and Brady, we kind of play this game with each other. The name of our podcast is The Game Within the Game. So we kind of ask you some rapid fire questions just to get your get your thought on it or get your answer on it. And we have like a scoreboard between me and Brady on basically just trying to we have like our own opinion on who's better or who's worse or what we should do. So we wanted to get your feedback on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So okay. Yeah. Yeah.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the first ones we can do is since you're coaching and that's one of your passions. If you had to coach any NBA team right now, which team would you choose and why?
Um, if I had to coach any NBA team right now, I guess I would say, and it's no knock on the coach or anything, but you asked me the question, I would say the Detroit Pistons. That's my hometown team. They're struggling a little bit right now, but I think Dwayne Casey, the coach, is doing a good job, and they got a new general manager, Troy Weaver, who's doing an excellent job of restoring the glory. He's basically overhauled the whole roster. So I'll have to go with my hometown Detroit Pistons.
I already knew you was gonna pick that answer just because you from Detroit, so you had
I
to.
gotta go with that.
Yeah, that kind of I almost want to ask you more questions about like your thoughts on the whole Chicago Bulls and Detroit Piston rivalry during that time, but
So you do you want me to answer that, or
yeah, why not?
okay, okay, no, couldn't stand Chicago. Couldn't stand Chicago, man. I didn't. We didn't wear no Jordan stuff around here, and the only person we liked on the respected Jordan, but the only person we liked on Chicago was BJ, because BJ was from Detroit. So it became very personal. The Detroit and the Chicago rivalry. Like I said, I didn't wear no Jordans probably into my later years now. Respected that man, Michael Jordan, but
Hmm.
in terms of Isaiah was my guy. That was my guy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so it was, yeah, it's personal. So that was that last dance and all that stuff, man. I mean, come on. I mean, much respect to the Chicago Bulls, but hey man, you look at the head to head between Isaiah and Michael Jordan. Isaiah got he got more victories against Jordan than Jordan got more victories against Isaiah. So, but that's it subsided. You know, the bitterness, and it subsided over the years. But back then, Yeah, man, that was you walk around talking about Chicago, had your Chicago Bulls starter jacket around here, you might you might get your hat given to the Undertaker or something. Yeah, it was rough back then. Yeah,
Oh man. No, that's awesome. I love hearing those stories about that. So in the
yeah,
area. So
yeah.
um another no, this is a non-basketball question. So we got a couple of non-basketball questions real quick for you.
Mhm.
TV shows or movies?
Would I enjoy?
Yeah,
Uh,
if like one of them had to go, or if you can only watch one for the rest of your life, you picking movies or TV shows?
Probably TV shows. Probably TV.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
my man.
I'm a Sanford and Son. That's my favorite. That's my favorite sitcom. Sanford and Son, Fred G. So anybody who know me, they know that. So I got to go with the sitcom, Sanford and Sons, and Sanford and Son, and Good Times, and what's happening. That's from my era. So I roll with that stuff. If one of them had to go.
No,
I'm a
I
TV
think
show.
yeah, I think I agree with both of you on TV shows. That's where me and Desmond have been lying at every time we ask this question to people. It seems to be TV shows is answer because movies it's just one thing. You just watch one movie, and then if they make a sequel, you can watch that. But TV shows, you can just have multiple episodes, multiple seasons of that.
Yeah, good, good, good.
Yeah.
I'm
So
into Netflix a little bit now though. But I'm enjoying my Netflix.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with Netflix, man.
Mm.
yeah, another one, non-basketball. Chocolate chip cookies or a raisin cookie. If you had to go for it,
Oatmeal raisin.
oatmeal
That's a
raisin.
solid pick.
That's a great pick. I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that one.
that's my favorite. Oatmeal raisin. You say right? Yeah, I'll go with that.
No, that's an awesome pick. I think you may be the first person that chose oatmeal raisin cookie so far. So
Yeah,
good
yeah.
choice. Good choice. What's your favorite Bible verse?
Oh wow. Um, I can't name any right offhand.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I am a believer,
Mm-hmm.
and I do, uh, like I said, believe in Jesus Christ and God and all. But in terms of about Bible verse, don't have a favorite one, but I know the which I I can't quote it, but I always remember it's a guy that always used to have what John 3:13. He'd be at sporting events and he would always, have the sign John 3:13. So I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't want to misquote it.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Mm.
No, that's a good one. With that, um, so if knowing what you know now, I already asked this already, but knowing what you know now, would you do anything different?
In
So
terms of in terms of what? In terms of
in your life now, so where you're at now, if there's like growing up along the way, if you knew some of the things that were happening now, would that have changed your path, your direction? Let's say into coaching, like if you knew what you know now, would you have ventured off into something other than coaching?
no, 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 I don't believe so. I think with age comes wisdom, you know, and things that you know now, things that I know now, as a person and as a coach. I would say, man, if I would have known that 15, 20 years ago, I'd really be on top. But I would really be a better coach. But I would guess 15 to 20 years ago when I was coaching, at that time, I was a good coach. But as you get more experience, you gain more wisdom and you gain more knowledge in your craft. And so you get better at it naturally, or sometimes you may get worse, but if you put the work in, you're going to get better at it. And so I think over the years, uh, I've gotten better at my craft in the game of basketball, and nothing beats experience. Nothing beats experience.
I hear that. I hear that. All right, we're gonna go back to basketball questions and probably get to wrapping it up very shortly here. So, you got to pick. You got a chance to either pick Ray Allen or Reggie Miller to be a part of your team. Who you choosing?
Wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Reggie. I'm gonna go.
Mm,
I'm gonna go with Reggie. That's a, that's a tough one. Both of them. Both of them. I think Ray was actually probably a better ball handler and more athletic. Ray Allen, I said right. Ray Allen was more better ball handling, more athletic than Reggie was. But I think Reggie was more clutch. You know, and something to be said for a guy who spent his whole career in one team. And so yeah, Reggie. I probably have to go with Reggie.
solid. I'm not mad at that pick at all because that's I always loved both their careers because both of them were like outstanding players. Of course, they
Oh,
Hall of Fame talent. So great shooters.
yeah.
Um, but I definitely pick Reggie as well.
Yes, sir.
Um, you picking CP3 or Kyrie Irving?
CP3.
Mm, floor general.
In terms of point guard, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Chris Paul.
Okay. Um, Chris Bosh or Dwight Howard?
Almost two different positions, but you talking about at their peak? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
at their peak, I probably go with Dwight Howard at their peak, at their
Mm,
prime. I probably go with Dwight Howard. Bosh was a little bit more skilled,
yeah.
more of a power forward. Dwight is a true center, you know. But I probably would go with Dwight Howard if you're talking about at their prime and at their peak.
Okay. Um, lastly but not least, what is build out your top five, your five that you would want to start a franchise with. It can be current players or former players. Your favorite top five.
NBA guys,
It could be yeah, or it could be NBA or you can switch it up and go your favorite top five athletes.
okay, I'm gonna go just straight NBA guys.
Okay.
Uh, uh, I'm gonna go with Isaiah Thomas as my point guard. You know, I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan as the two. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go with LeBron James at the three. My power forward, I'm gonna go with Charles Barkley
Mm,
at the power forward, and my center, I'm gonna go with the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's what I'm gonna go with.
It's a solid top five team right there.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. I like it.
yeah. Yeah, so that kind of takes us at the end of the rapid fire questions. So we appreciate you for surviving that round. Um, if you want to, do you mind dropping your socials for us so people can follow you on or Instagram or Twitter, or people want to be able to try to check out your games, and the teams that you coach on and support.
Yeah, my had to looking at it now. My Twitter is Coach SN14. That's my Twitter account, Coach SN14. And then on Facebook, it's, Scott Newman.
All right, gotcha. Thank you for that, and we appreciate your time today. for coming on and giving us an insight about you and about coaching and your just career and upbringing within the world of basketball.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.